Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Pacers Daily. I am your host, Hery Acosta. Now, I am recording this right after the Pacers Thunder game, but this video will be going out Friday morning. But there is a lot we got to talk about this game, and don't get me wrong, this was a very good game, and this was a very, entertaining first game for the Pacers. But there's just so much to talk about here, and we're gonna hop into it here in a second. But like I always say, like and subscribe. That helps out the channel a lot. Get out more of this kind of content. But let's hop straight into it. First things first, Siakam had himself a game. 32 points, 15 rebounds on 12 of 25 shooting. Very consistent from the three-point line. But 5 of 12 from the free throw line. That's not good. That is honestly one of the worst free throw performances I've seen. Now, obviously, he was the star of the show, both him and Mathurin. Now, we'll talk about Mathurin here in a second. But we lost this game by 6 points. Siakam missed 7 free throws by himself. And I'm not just saying the free throws were the main reason we lost. I'm just saying they're called free throws. The main thing is like, oh, you're going to make them because they're free. No one's guarding you. Not too far from the basket. Now, I'm not saying I would be a good free throw shooter because, honestly, that probably is one of my lesser skills in basketball. But still, as a professional player, you would expect to shoot a little bit better from the free throw line. But Siakam has always struggled from, the charity stripe. But away from that, great game from Siakam. And, I'm excited to see what else he can do. Now, sadly, we do start the season 0-1. We go down to 0-1 at home, which isn't nice. But, sometimes stuff happens. Now, a lot of stuff happened. Andrew Nembhard got hurt. Now, I didn't really put him out to the side, but Andrew Nembhard did get hurt. And Isaiah Jackson, I don't think he's going to be our starting center for most of the season. I don't see it happening. He was running cardio out there. 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. Now, yeah, he played 8 minutes. But in those 8 minutes, he was just out there grabbing people. Like, it was just foul after foul after foul. And it's just, that's not what we need. I know it's just one game, but if I had to give my opinion on his role on the team after one game, sadly, it would be that he is not the starting center. But next, we're going to talk about the other star of the game. Now, Mathurin was the reason we could have won this game. But, of course, fouled out. Aaron Nesmith, fouled out. Ben Shepherd, fouled out. How is it possible that we have 3 players foul out in a game? I understand it was 2 overtimes, but still, 3 players. That's 18 fouls between 3 players. Absolutely disgraceful. There was way too many fouls being called in that game. When both teams, and I'm going to talk about it at the end, both teams shooting over 40 free throws. What is that, bro? What is that? That is not. That part is not entertaining to watch. I mean, both teams are just on the line every 2 seconds. Now, the disparity wasn't too much. OKC did have a few more free throws. But if you look at the actual fouls in the game, it should have been a lot less free throws for OKC. Maybe a few less for Indiana. But there was just some of those ghost calls were just crazy. But, I'm sidetracking way too much. Let's talk about Mathurin. 36 points, 11 rebounds. Great way to start the season for Mathurin. 9 of 19 shooting. Absolute beast at the free throw line as well. This is exactly what we wanted from him. We wanted him to have a great first game. We wanted him to set the pace for the season for what he can really do. And just overall, show that, hey, this is going to be my team. I'm going to be an all-star. I'm going to have a great season. So great, absolute props to Bennedict Mathurin for this first game. Very proud of him. Genuinely, if he wouldn't have fouled out, the OKC would have not gone out to that lead in the second overtime. And looking back at it, wasn't even a foul, but to each its own. But now, this is just, I put it on here because I just want you guys to see. SGA shot 26 free throws. Let that sink in for a minute in a game. 26 free throws. There are players that didn't shoot on the Pacers star players that didn't shoot 26 free throws throughout the whole playoffs last season. That's insane. Now, I'm obviously not saying that some of them weren't fouls. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Some of them were fouls. There was one where he baited Toppin into jumping into him. That's an automatic foul, of course. But then there's others where it was just, you even laid a finger on him in a guarding position, a normal position where you usually don't get called for fouls, and it's just the whistle is everywhere. The refs always have their whistles in their mouth whenever SGA is going to go up for a shot. It is actually insane to see. In the years I've been watching basketball, only James Harden I've seen with that kind of whistle back when he was on the Rockets. SGA just has the craziest whistle because legit, and I'm not even trying to say this as a Pacers fan or as a Pacers analyst or anything. I'm just saying this as someone who likes watching basketball and someone who studies the sport of basketball. A lot of those were genuinely not fouls. A lot of those could have been looked at and reversed easily. So it's just crazy to see that. I mean, he did have 55 points on 17 of 31 shooting. Or it might have been 14. Sorry. A lot just happened in this game. But 31 shots, 26 free throws. And he had 55 points. So obviously without the free throws, he would have still had a 30-point game. But there's a big difference between 32 and 55 points. So, that's just something crazy to look at because that obviously Mathurin shot a bunch of free throws. Siakam shot a good amount. Siakam shot 12. But still, one player is shooting 26 free throws. They kept mentioning how many free throws he had shot in the first 2 games of the season. Which, the fact that that's a thing, to me, is just insane of how much the NBA has changed. But obviously, because it's a 3-point league, not a lot of players are getting to the line as much. So, but now, speaking of free throws, we got to shoot free throws better. And I know I'm really just talking to Siakam and Mathurin towards the end of the game. But mainly Siakam, we got to shoot our free throws better. Everyone outside of Siakam and Mathurin was 100%. Mathurin was 100% for his first 11 and then missed 2 straight. We got to make our free throws because that's 10 points we left off the board in a game that we lost by 6 points. 10 points we left off the board in a game that we lost by single digits, where that's not something you want to go home to and have to analyze that just because, free throws, it's so much to earn them. There should be free points, but the Pacers have just been struggling with free throws, and it's pretty obvious. But, outside of that, and I know I've been ranting all day, all video, but that's just a lot that just happened on my TV. I mean, 276 points between both teams is absolutely absurd. And just about over 80 free throws for both teams. The NBA's got to look at. And this is happening after the Terry Rozier, the Chauncey Billups investigations. Obviously, I'm not by any means saying that there's anything going on with Vegas and these refs and everything. I'm just saying the timing is a little funny, but that's just timing, and that's just my own little joke at the end of the video, just because you gotta laugh. But honestly, great game, great first game. We really had the Thunder sweating. We took them to double overtime. But once again, SGA's free throws triumph, because that's what beat the Rockets. That's what beat us. But, we have Memphis coming up and we have Minnesota coming up, and I will be analyzing those games on Monday because I don't post Saturdays and Sundays, so this one will be going out Friday. And it's my mom's birthday when this comes out, so I'll be out celebrating her birthday. But, as always, I am your host, Hery Acosta. This is Pacers Daily. The season's back, baby. And you already know, boom, baby. And go, Sirs.